Good day, everyone. Today, I will be discussing about the nature and concept of management. Okay, so the satisfaction of human wants is a universal concern. We all know that. And this is the basic reason why organizations are established. Limited resources and the ever increasing demand for food, shelter, security, and other basic necessities drive people to devise or use means to ensure that the right moves are undertaken to satisfy those needs. A positive approach is the adoption of effective and efficient schemes related to management and organization. Governments, business firms, and even nonprofit organizations are expected to manage their resources properly, or they will fail in the attempt to contribute their share in the alleviation of poverty and want. So, this brings to the fore the importance of studying management and organization. So this is the reason why we need to study management. Okay. So first, let's know first the management functions. So management may be defined as the achievement of organizational objectives through people and other resources. And it consists of several functions. First, we have the decision making. It is the process by which a decision maker determines the available alternatives and chooses the best solution that suits a given problem. Next is planning. Planning is the process of establishing objectives and suitable courses of action before taking action. Okay, so I guess planning is very self-explanatory because in everything you do, you should have a concrete plan. Organizing. It is the process of arranging an organization structure and coordinating its managerial practices and use of resources to achieve its goals. Staffing refers to the process of recruiting, placing, training, and developing personnel. Communicating refers to transferring information from one communicator to another. Motivating, which refers to the act of giving employees reasons or incentives to work in order to achieve organizational objectives. Because people, employees need to be motivated for them to work hard, for them to work for the betterment of the organization. Leading, the process of directing and influencing task related activities of organization members. And the last one is controlling, which is the process of monitoring actual organizational activities to see that they conform to planned activities and correcting deviations or flaws. So these are the 8 management functions. Right. Now, let's talk about the levels of managers. So, by the way, who is a manager? A manager is a one who plans, organizes, leads, and controls other individuals in the process of pursuing organizational goals. So basically, The functions of management, as I have said earlier, are also the roles of the manager: to plan, to organize, to lead, and to control other individuals, okay, in the process of pursuing organizational goals. Now, managers are vested title of like president, department head, dean, administrator, supervisor, team leader, and the like. So, managers function according to the levels that they are in. So, in a small organization, there would normally be just like a single manager who is expected to perform all the managerial tasks and roles. However, in big organizations, it is expected that there would be different managers for different functions. So first we have here the lower, okay, lower managers. So who are the lower, okay, managers? So the lower level managers are responsible for leading employees in the day-to-day tasks, which contribute to the organization's goals. So of the various levels of managers, they are the ones in direct contact with the employees. So take note that the lower level managers are the one who are in direct contact with the employees. Because of this, they are also referred to as first line or frontline managers. So apart from performing the other managerial functions of planning, directing, and organizing, their tasks include correcting errors or solving problems directly related to the production of goods and services. Next, we have the middle managers. So they direct the activities of other managers and sometimes also those of operating employees. They work with top managers and coordinate with peers to develop and implement action plans to accomplish organizational objectives. So, who are middle managers? Examples of middle managers are the deans of the business school in a university, the plant manager in a manufacturing concern, or the branch manager of a financing company. Now, the top managers. Okay. So they are responsible for the overall performance of the organization. They formulate strategies, provide leadership, evaluate and shape the method of organizing, and control the direction of the organization in the effort to accomplish goals. Top managers usually hold titles like Chief Executive Officer, Chief Operating Officer, President, um, Chairman, or Senior Vice President. Okay, so those are the levels of managers: lower level managers, middle manager, and top managers. Now, what are the types of managers? So managers may be different from one another in terms of the work they do. They may be briefly described as follows. First, we have the line manager. They are directly concerned with accomplishing the goals of the organization. For example, so the university president. Then staff managers. So staff managers are in charge of units that provide support to the line units. Example, the director of personnel. And we have what we call the administrators. So these managers, they work in government or in non-profit organizations. Example, the hospital administrators. We have provincial administrators, school administrators. Okay. So the effective and efficient performance of management functions, so the 8 management functions, okay, the effective and efficient performance of them are possible only if the manager is well equipped with the necessary management skills. So, first we have the technical skills. Okay. So, technical skills refer to the abilities to use special proficiencies or expertise in performing specific tasks. They refer to the use of tools, techniques, and specialized knowledge. So what are the examples of technical skills? Example, the accountants. Okay? The accountants prepare financial reports. So those are their technical skills. Like an architect working on a building plan and a professor writing a book. Next, we have the human skills. Okay. So when we talk about human skills, it refers to the ability to work well in cooperation with other persons, whether they are subordinates, peers, or superiors. A person with good human skills will have a high degree of self-awareness and a capacity for understanding or empathizing with the feelings of others. Then the last one is conceptual skill. Now, conceptual skills refer to the ability of the manager to see the organization as a whole and to solve problems in ways that benefit the total system. Specifically, the manager who possesses these skills is expected to analyze and solve complex problems. Okay? Thus, the manager with good conceptual skills will have the mental capacity to perform identifying problems and opportunities, gather and interpret relevant information, and execute planning solving decisions that serve the organization's purpose. Okay. So, a good manager should have these 3 management skills. Now, what are the managerial roles? The manager is expected to lead his unit or department in achieving its objectives, right? Because every organization has an objective, has a vision, has goals. So as such, a manager is bound to interact with people and deal with processes. In the attempt to produce results, the manager assumes roles as varied as the following. First, we have the interpersonal roles. So these are the roles the manager plays when he interacts with others. Okay? Specific roles under this category are figurehead. Right. So when the manager performs this role, he acts as the symbolic head of the organization. And as a result, he is expected to perform a number of duties of a legal or social nature. Okay, for example, uh, when a manager cuts the ceremonial ribbon of a company-sponsored projects, like a building, a building in a certain school or university. So that provides an example of his figurehead role. Next is leader. So this role of a manager makes him responsible for the motivation and activation of subordinates. Because take note that a manager is expected to lead his units or department in achieving its objectives. So he should lead his subordinates, those under him. So he is responsible for actions in staffing, training, and other associated duties. He performs the role of leader in virtually all managerial activities involving subordinates. Okay, the last one for the interpersonal role is the liaison. So in assuming this role, the manager makes contacts with individuals in and out of the organization to facilitate the accomplishment of work in his department. Examples of such activities are acknowledgement of mail, external board work, and other activities involving the outsiders. Okay. Next one is the informational roles. So a very important aspect of the manager's job is to receive and communicate information. Such roles are important to his decision-making task. So if he wants his subordinates to improve the quality of their decisions, he provides them with, of course, information. Okay, so on receiving and sharing information, the manager assumes these three specific roles. First, we have monitor. So in making the right decisions concerning the various aspects of an organization, the manager is expected to collect information that will be useful in performing his job. So this information is shared with other members of the organization whether they are needed. Thus, in acting as a monitor, he handles all mails and contacts categorized as concerned primarily with receiving information using such resources as news bulletin, special magazines, and observational tools. The second role is disseminator. So there are certain types of information that the manager may consider useful to his subordinates. When he receives such information from outsiders or from subordinates, he transmits them to the concerned members of the organization. Okay? So some of this information may be factual and some may involve interpretation and integration. So as an information disseminator, the manager sees to it that relevant incoming information is properly shared with subordinates. Next, spokesperson. So there are occasions, okay, it is a fact that there are occasions when outsiders seek information about the organization and the manager as spokesperson accordingly. Thus, the manager also serves as expert on organization's industry. To effectively perform the role of spokesperson, the manager sees to it that his views are heard on occasions requiring her presence, such as meetings, board meetings. He also maintains contact with outsiders and provides information when they are required. The last role is decisional. So the major part of the manager's job is to make decisions. As such, he must use the information he processes to make decisions that solve problems. Okay, so as a decision maker, the manager assumes the following roles. First, we have as an entrepreneur. Okay. So, in acting as an entrepreneur, the manager searches the organization and its environment for opportunities and initiates projects to bring about positive change. He also supervises the design of certain projects. His role as entrepreneur requires his participation in strategy and review sessions involving initiative or design of projects to improve performance. Next is disturbance handler. So sometimes organizations face important but unexpected disturbances. Okay, what are these disturbances? For example, employee strike. Okay, because they are dissatisfied with the compensation scheme. Another important but unexpected disturbance is a disagreement among middle managers involving questions of jurisdiction, or let's say the sudden decrease in sales of the different branches of the organization. Thus, as a disturbance handler, the manager is expected to respond to such unwelcome pressures by formulating strategies and reviewing such disturbances. The last one is resource allocator. So the manager is responsible for the allocation of organizational resources of all kinds, such as personnel, funds, machines, equipment, buildings, and facilities to individual employees or units. As such, he is expected to be actively involved in scheduling, acting on requests for authorization, budgeting, and the programming of subordinates' work. So those are the three managerial roles with their categories. Okay. So thank you so much for watching this video about the nature and concept of management. I do hope that after watching this video, you have a clearer understanding of the roles of the managers, the functions of the management, and the skills that an effective and efficient manager should possess. Right? So thank you so much. See you next time.